A luxury jacket that can cost more than a car. What actually happens before it reaches a showroom? Before the price tag, before the runway lights, before it ever touches a hanger. That jacket begins as something very different, not a fashion item, not a status symbol, but a raw, natural material that must be transformed with extreme care. Behind closed doors, inside a tightly controlled factory, every step is measured, monitored, and repeated with precision. Temperature, humidity, timing, and technique all matter. One mistake can ruin weeks of work or an entire hide worth thousands of dollars. This is not mass production. It's a slow, deliberate process where skilled hands and strict standards shape every outcome. Each decision affects durability, appearance, and long-term value. What makes this leather so expensive isn't just rarity, it's the level of control required to turn a fragile, imperfect hide into a finished garment that looks effortless. In this documentary, we go inside that process, from the moment Crocodile leather enters the factory to the final inspection. Before it reaches the luxury market, we'll uncover how precision, regulation, and craftsmanship come together to create some of the world's most premium jackets and why so few ever make the cut. Crocodile leather sits at the very top of the global fashion hierarchy. It is one of the most expensive materials used in clothing, and also one of the most closely regulated. Unlike common leathers, every crocodile hide must be documented, tracked, and approved under international wildlife trade rules before it can legally enter the luxury market. This level of regulation exists because crocodiles were once heavily overhunted. Today, most leather used by high-end brands comes from licensed farms operating under strict government oversight. These systems are designed to protect wild populations while meeting commercial demand. For luxury brands, legality isn't optional, it's the foundation of the entire supply chain. So why does demand remain strong? Even as synthetic and plant-based alternatives continue to improve, the answer lies in performance and perception. Crocodile leather is exceptionally durable, naturally flexible, and visually distinctive. Its scale pattern cannot be replicated exactly by machines, making each finished piece unique. For some consumers, that rarity still carries powerful appeal. At the same time, public scrutiny has never been higher. Modern luxury buyers want craftsmanship, but they also expect accountability. Brands now face pressure from regulators, advocacy groups, and consumers to prove that their materials are ethically sourced and responsibly processed. To respond, many companies invest heavily in traceability systems, transparent sourcing, and specialized craftsmanship that minimizes waste. The challenge is constant: maintain traditional luxury standards while operating within modern ethical and legal expectations. In today's fashion industry, crocodile leather is no longer just about exclusivity. It represents a careful balance between heritage and innovation, demand and responsibility, and the question of how luxury adapts in a world that increasingly asks where and how its products are made. The process begins long before a jacket takes shape. It starts at regulated crocodile farms, where specific species are raised under strict oversight. Each hide is legally documented and approved for international trade, ensuring it meets conservation and export requirements before it ever leaves the source. Once the hides arrive at the factory, the first step is inspection. Specialists examine size, thickness, and scale pattern. Natural scars, uneven textures, or weak areas can significantly affect value. In luxury production, only the highest grade sections are selected. Even small imperfections can determine how or if a hide will be used. Next comes preservation and tanning. The hides are carefully salted to prevent decay, then soaked and cleaned to remove residue. Tanning follows, using tightly controlled chemical and temperature processes that stabilize the skin while preserving flexibility. This stage can take weeks and directly impacts strength, color absorption, and long-term durability. After tanning, cutting begins. This is one of the most critical steps. Craftspeople plan each cut to align scale symmetry and thickness across multiple jacket panels. Mistakes here are costly, since crocodile leather offers little room for correction. Stitching and assembly come next. Unlike softer leathers, crocodile skin is naturally rigid, Skilled artisans gradually shape it into wearable form, carefully controlling tension so seams remain strong without restricting movement. Precision stitching ensures both comfort and longevity. Finally, the jacket moves into finishing. The leather is dyed, polished, and treated to achieve a uniform look without hiding its natural texture. Linings are added, edges refined, and every detail reviewed. Only after passing a final quality inspection is the jacket approved for branding ready to enter the luxury market as a finished, wearable product shaped by regulation, craftsmanship, and time. What makes Crocodile leather jackets so valuable often comes down to what can't be used. Despite the size of a full hide, only a small percentage is suitable for high-end garments. Natural scars, uneven scales, or subtle variations in thickness can disqualify large sections. For luxury jackets, consistency matters, and that standard dramatically reduces usable material. The labor investment is just as selective. A single jacket can require dozens of work hours, divided among specialists at different stages. Inspectors, cutters, stitchers, and finishers each handle the leather only at their point of expertise. This division of skill ensures precision, but it also slows production, limiting how many jackets can be completed in a given time. Then there's the pattern itself. Crocodile scales are often compared to fingerprints because no two hides share the same layout. Scale size, spacing, and symmetry vary naturally, which means every jacket has a one-of-a-kind surface. For designers, this uniqueness is part of the appeal, but it also makes standardization nearly impossible. Material performance adds another layer. Compared to cow leather, crocodile leather is significantly stronger when measured by thickness. It resists tearing and stretching over time, which contributes to its longevity. However, that strength comes with a trade-off. The material is far less forgiving during production. Once cut or stitched, errors are difficult and sometimes impossible to correct. All of these factors limited usable area, specialized labor, natural variation, and material rigidity combine to raise both cost and value. The price of a finished jacket reflects not just rarity, but the number of decisions, hands, and hours required to turn an unpredictable natural material into a refined luxury product. Designed to last for decades, quality control in the crocodile leather industry begins long before manufacturing. Every hide is governed by international wildlife trade regulations that require permits, documentation, and traceability. These systems allow each hide to be tracked from its point of origin through processing and export, helping authorities ensure that legal and conservation standards are being met at every step. Today, most crocodile leather used by luxury brands comes from long-term farming operations rather than the wild. These farms operate under government oversight and are designed to reduce pressure on natural populations. By controlling breeding and harvest cycles, regulated farming has become a central tool in maintaining stable crocodile numbers while supporting legal trade. At the same time, ethical sourcing remains a subject of public debate. Consumers increasingly want to understand where materials come from and how animals are treated. In response, many luxury brands have introduced transparency programs that include supplier audits, traceability reports, and third-party certifications. While approaches vary by company, the goal is consistent: demonstrate accountability without compromising product quality. Environmental impact is another key concern, especially during tanning. The process requires significant water use and chemical treatment to preserve the leather. To address this, modern facilities invest in water recycling systems, waste treatment, and tighter chemical controls. These measures aim to reduce pollution while maintaining the performance standards expected of luxury materials. Together, regulation, farming oversight, ethical review, and environmental management form the backbone of quality control in this industry. The result is a system that tries to balance craftsmanship, conservation, and responsibility, recognizing that the future of exotic leather depends not only on how it looks, but on how it is managed from start to finish. Crocodile leather jackets are more than luxury fashion items. They are the final result of a long, carefully controlled process shaped by biology, regulation, and human skill. from the natural structure of the hide to the systems that govern its use. Every step reflects a balance between nature and design. The high cost of these jackets is often misunderstood. It is not driven by branding alone, or even rarity by itself. It reflects time weeks of processing and preparation. It reflects skilled specialists who know how to work with a material that offers no margin for error. And it reflects oversight layers of legal and quality controls that limit supply and demand accountability at every stage. Each finished jacket carries that history with it. Behind its polished surface are decisions about conservation, manufacturing standards, and responsible sourcing. The jacket may be worn as a statement piece, but it exists because of systems designed to manage a sensitive natural resource. As luxury fashion continues to evolve, exotic materials face a changing future. Consumers are asking more questions, regulators are tightening expectations, and brands are being challenged to prove that tradition and responsibility can coexist. In this environment, craftsmanship alone is no longer enough. The future of Crocodile, leather and exotic fashion as a whole will depend on transparency, traceability, and long-term sustainability. Artistry will always matter, but accountability now carries equal weight. And for the world's most premium jackets, lasting value may ultimately be defined not just by how they look, but by how thoughtfully they are made. Asterisk.